Hello guys and welcome to today's video. It's finally time I give my honest thoughts and review on Ash vs Cynthia, because I know a lot of you have been waiting a while for it, because I know I didn't do part 1, part 2, part 3, and now I was waiting for all 3 parts to come out together so that I can judge about it as a whole. So I'm gonna play something in the background, guys, while we talk about this. So yeah, the battle was incredible. Definitely the best battle journey so far, and probably a top 10 battle of all time. The battle was insane. First of all, the strategies used were insane. Like Ash brought back the counter shield from Diamond and Pearl. He used like a rock tomb climb to climb the earth power from Gastrodon in the fight. Cynthia switching to pressure Ash was really good in this fight. So let me quickly go over the matchup order. So it started with Dragonite versus Spiritomb. So Dragonite started by going for Dracomedia, but Cynthia calls for Sucker Punch, which obviously goes first. So it threw Dragonite back a bit, and then after that, it knocked down the Dracomedia, but it didn't do much to Spiritomb. Then after that, Ash went in for Dragon Claw, but Cynthia called for Hypnosis, which put Dragonite to sleep, and then once that happened, Spiritomb used Dream Eater until Dragonite was defeated. It's sad to see that Dragonite lost early, but having Cynthia get such an early win shows that she's not to be messed with, considering that she is the second strongest trainer in the world. And then Ash recalls Dragonite, and then they bring out Gengar, but as he brings out Gengar, Cynthia does a switch into Roserade, and after those two clash for a bit, Cynthia switches again back into Spiritomb, and after landing a Sucker Punch to Dazzling Gleam, Gengar goes down, giving Cynthia a lead. And however, she did something really smart. She baited Ash to bring Pikachu into the fight, and the way she did that was that she brought in Togekiss, who landed that. She switched out her she switched out her Spiritomb. She switched out Spiritomb for the Togekiss to bait Ash to bring Pikachu in, and then after those two go off, where it turned out that she has Serene Grace, an Air Slash Phoenix Pikachu, then a heads up, and then Pikachu switched, and then Cynthia switched it into Gastrodon, which is really a smart matchup, but Ash is really smart here. So what he does is that he gets Pikachu to jump on the rocks from the Earth Power to get into the air and use Iron Tail. But however, Cynthia notices this and she calls for Stone Edge. However, Ash tells Pikachu to cut the top of the Stone Edge off and then throw them at Gastrodon. So Gastrodon catches them. But because Gastrodon catches them, Ash calls Pikachu to do quick attack, which smashes the rocks into Gastrodon's face, knocking it out. So now Ash has got a win in this fight. Then we have Spiritomb coming back in, and then this will be when Ash pulls back out the counter shield, which Cynthia even remembers from the Sinnoh League, which was a great callback. And basically, as Spiritomb goes down, Cynthia does one of the most dirtiest plays in this battle. She calls for Destiny Bond, and if you don't know what Destiny Bond does, Destiny Bond basically we KO the Pokemon, and then use Destiny Bond to take down the opponent with them, which means yes, Destiny Bond takes up Pikachu, and just like that, Ash has lost Pikachu early into the fight, and he really lost half his team. Well, Cynthia still has 4 Pokemon left, being her Milotic, Togekiss, Roserade, and Garchomp. Well, Ash only has Dracovish, Sirfetch'd, and Lucario going into part 2. So now, going into part 2, it takes a fight where Lars has a victor off, with Ash taking Pikachu back to the side, and then And then Ash brings out Dracovish, and Cynthia brings out Garchomp, which surprised me, but she was quite smart. So what Ash tried to do is that he tried to rush in with Ice Fang, but Ice Fang, Garchomp does the attack, and now the Dragon Claw, it sent Draco spinning, and before Draco could recover from it, she went up Stealth Fox, which basically meant that as soon as that's brought in a Pokemon, it would take Stealth Fox damage, which was a really smart play, but I feel like Cynthia should have done it earlier in the fight. But then of course Cynthia switches into a Roserade, which Dracovish fights. Like, we're going in with Fish's Rend, and Ash calling for poison, for Fish's Rend, and Circuit Roserade called in for Poison Death. However, earlier in the fight it was burned by Gengar's Will-O-Wisp, but however, turned out it has Natural Cure, which basically meant its burn was gone. And after poisoning the land, it poisons Dracovish. The Dracovish still has to damage Roserade with a Fish's Rend. And once that happens, Cynthia calls a Leaf Storm, and Ash calls a Dragon Rush. And Dragon Rush goes straight through the Leaf Storm and KOs Roserade. So now it's a level playing field. But then Ash tries to recall Dracovish. The Dracovish refuses to go back because he wants to keep going, which Ash lets him. But Cynthia knows that this would be another easy win for her. So she brings out her Milotic. And her Milotic goes for Dragon Rush. She goes for Summoning Voice, which obviously pushes back Dragon Rush, and Cynthia tells Milotic to wrap itself around Dracovish, like exactly the strategy that she did against Ice. However, Ash saw this, so as she calls for Iron Head, Dracovish lands a Fish's Rend, which even a Dracovish was knocked out, Milotic still took some damage. So Ash will recall Dracovish and bring in the MVP of this fight, Sirfetch'd. And Sirfetch'd immediately gets hit by the Stealth Fox. But however, Ash is really smart here, and what he does basically is that he tells Sirfetch'd to Spill Swing on its shield to remove the Stealth Fox, which was a really, really good play, and even Cynthia credits him later in the fight, saying that was marvellous. And then basically, as Will Swing's about to come round and hit Milotic, Cynthia calls a Hydro Pump, and Sirfetch'd dodges out the way, and then Sirfetch'd charges in with Fury Color, and Milotic goes in with Iron Head. However, Sirfetch'd uses its shield to block. The Iron Head, and he's able to land a good hit on it with Fury Color. And then after that, Cynthia calls for Disarming Voice, and Ash tells Sirfetch'd to charge for Meteor Assault, which charges straight through the Disarming Voice, and he's able to knock out Milotic, bringing it down to a 2v2. Now, Cynthia then brings in Garchomp again, and this is probably one of my most favourite clashes in the fight. So after that, Cynthia calls a Scale Shot, Sirfetch'd calls for Fury Color, which just breaks straight through the Scale Shots, and as it gets close, she calls for Dragon Claw, and both Dragon Claw and Fury Color connect. However, Dragon Claw overpowers Fury Color, and it sends Sirfetch'd into the air. But however, Ash calls to detect as she goes for another Dragon Claw, and then and then one of the best moments in the fight. Meteor Assault versus Draco Meteor. Ash tells Travis to turn for Meteor Assault, and Cynthia goes to Draco Meteor. And both attacks hit each other's Pokemon, and Surfetched made Garchomp stumble. Yes, Cynthia's ace stumbled from Surfetched, which is insane. Because that Garchomp, we know how strong it is. And he made it stumble, and then of course he fainted, but he didn't go down. He stayed standing. He's fainting, standing up, just like Incineroar did at the Alola League, which was incredible. And then that's obviously we called Surfetch and bringing his last Pokemon Lucario, and Cynthia we called Garchomp due to damage is just taken from Surfetch, and Cynthia then Ash brings up, and then Cynthia brings back up Togekiss and brings out the biggest surprise of the episode. She shows off a Dynamax stand and Dynamaxes her Togekiss, and that's how part 2 ends, with Ash about to respond with Mega Evolution. So now we go into part 3. We have Ash immediately activate Mega Evolution on Lucario, and at first they were struggling. He went for All-Spear. He told Lucario to charge up back to Extreme with All-Spear, which eventually Airstream hits Lucario, knocking him out of the Airstream, and basically Cynthia gets to swap the All-Spear so he couldn't do anything. And then after that, Ash calls for Bullet Punch, and Cynthia calls on Max Airstream, and basically Ash tells Lucario to jump over Togekiss' Airstream, and basically he jumps over Togekiss and gets behind it and starts hammering it with Bullet Punch, which does some good damage, and it knocks Togekiss to the ground, but it isn't knocked out. And after that, you get Cynthia calls Max Airstream, and Ash tells Lucario to charge up his Aura, which means it's making that giant Aura Sphere, and that's Lucario getting sync, and yeah, and they always connect up, and we get a Greninja cameo as well in this episode, which was nice to see. And then the giant Aura Sphere pushes through the Airstream and knocks Togekiss to the ground, and after using 3 Dynamax moves, it is now our Dynamax. However, Lucario and Ash are exhausted already, but however, Togekiss still didn't go down from that, and the Dynamax Airstream, it was now at plus 3 speed, so it was extremely hard for Ash and Lucario to track, but Ash did an extremely smart call where he called the double team to fake out Togekiss, and then he used Always Clear, which Togekiss worked straight for the double team Always Clears, but then Lucario managed to catch it with Bullet Punch and knock it out with Bullet Punch. And now we're down to the final matchup. Garchomp versus Lucario, Mega Lucario, and you got to remember at this point that both Pokemon are damaged. So after getting a really nice flashback of Cynthia and Garchomp's time, Cynthia tells Garchomp to jump into the air and use Scale Shot, and Ash tells Lucario to jump and use Bullet Punch, and it punches through the Scale Shot, and then he goes for Aura Spirits, collides with the Scale Shot at equal power, and they cancel each other's attacks out. And then after that, we get one of the most brutal rules in the entire anime: Bullet Punch versus Dragon Claw, where those Pokemon are just repeatedly punching each other over and over and over again. It was an intense brawl, but eventually Lucario falls on one knee. Cynthia calls for Dragon Claw, and right at the very last moment, Ash calls for Reversal, which does insane damage depending on how low your HP is, and after that, both Pokemon fall. and everything goes dead quiet, and then Lucario gets up and Ash beats Cynthia. This win was so deserved. He struggled so hard with this battle, and this entire battle was incredible. There were so many good moments, like the strategies, the moments, like all the build up. We had 12 years of build up. All the matchups were really great. Dragonite, I wish Dragonite Gengar did do a bit more in the fight, but hey, it finally gets Servets and Dracovish in time to shine, since those two really hadn't done much at this point. So I'm glad that those two got the spotlight in the Cynthia fight. And yeah, this fight was incredible. One of the best fights in the entire anime. And I don't know how Ash's Leon is gonna top it. But yeah, that's really it for today's video, guys. I really wanted to, and yeah, if you want to know what my review rating is, I would say as a whole battle, 9 out of 10. Honestly, it is incredible. As a whole battle, it is 9 out of 10. And yeah, until the next video, I'll see you all again very soon.